Hi there, it's Sandy from Spiral Crafts and Workshops again with another free polymer clay tutorial just for you. Now if you like making polymer clay models and things, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel below or like and follow the Facebook page, and then you'll get lots more free tutorials to make things with polymer clay. So what do we need to make our turtle that you just saw? We need brown clay, we need green clay, and we need a little bit of black. So you make your brown clay with red clay and a little bit of dark green mixed in. I use jumping clay, and there's a link below in the description and you can have a look and see what they've got. Take your red, add a little bit of green, keep going with the green bit by bit until you get the colour that you want. With the pale green here, I've used white and added a little bit of green again to that. Take it easy with the green, add it very slowly because it does colour up very quickly, and you want to stop by when it's just a nice sort of turquoise colour. And then you've got your little bit of black on the side, which you don't need to mix. Now I've got a surface to work on. I've got a piece of greaseproof paper to put the clay on so it doesn't stick to the top. I've also got my jumping clay tool here, which is the Pinocchio head. He's got a lovely cutting edge down the side. I do like this, it's very kid friendly, but you can use just ordinary clay cutting tools because they do the same job anyway, so that's not a problem. But these are good to use, and lots of other different features around them as well. So we need to take the brown first, and we need to roll it into a ball, although mine's already there. I'm going to do it again just to show you how. Always comes out saucer shape for me. And then into a little bit of a sausage. And we're going to cut a little bit, just a little bit, it doesn't matter how much, you don't need a lot off because those are going to be the spots on his legs in a bit. Then take your sausage, you can re-roll it if you need to, not a problem, but from there you're going to go, that's the middle, and put mine in the middle, and then you're going to go halfway between here and here, which is about there, and just cut down. You don't have to be absolutely accurate, it just gives you a rough idea of how much you need. So this is going to be the rim of the shell, and this is going to be the shell itself. So I'm going to take this, roll it into a ball, and then I'm just going to flatten it between your palms like that. Okay, just shape it, and then I'm going to cut my hand a little bit and just press it down. It has got my fingerprints all over it, my palm print here, but what you end up with is a flat side, and then this is gone into the palm here, the scoop of the palm here, and it's taken on an imprint of my palm, but actually that's quite organic, you know. And a turtle has got little lines and shapes on his back. I'm going to take it down a little bit just so it's not quite so obvious. Just press it down gently without deforming anything. I quite like that pattern, and besides which it kind of says it's mine as well because that's my palm print on it. So I'm going to put it off to one side, flat side down, take your middle piece that you've got, roll it into a ball. Now we're going to roll this into a nice long, put that up there out of the way, a nice long sausage. So you just start rolling your sausage, and the idea is you're pressing down, but you're also pressing this way a little bit. So, and that will bring you this way. So if you want to roll this bit, you want to press that way and down, and just like that. Now the other tip I can give you is don't just do this with little rolls, but actually do full rolls, and then you'll find this will be a lot more circular and a lot less sort of that kind of shape. You'll actually get a nice round finish to the nice long strokes. There we go, long rolls, and then keep going with your sausage until, well, you know, that kind of looks okay. Now what you don't want to do is touch this to this. That's not a good idea yet. But what I am going to do is just put that there. I'm going to fold this round and have a look. That's about the right size, but I'd rather have it just a little bit over. So I'm going to roll it a little bit more. If you get little lumps like this, just roll either side, bring it down so it's nice and smooth. There we go. Then I'll pull the paper down, take that out of the way. I'm going to, that's got a long axis that way, so I'm going to make that the front where his head's going to go, and this the tail. So I'm going to start with the sausage at the front and press it round, all the way round. I'm going to have a little bit left over, but that's fine. So I'm going to get a tool and just take a little bit off there. Try and make it a little bit neater. So that's stretched a little bit, but that's okay because we can just press it back like that, and then we can put that down there, and then we can roll this in, try and get an idea where we need to cut it, put a cut in there, make it a bit neater, and we can roll that round. There we go. So it does help if your whole sausage is the same width all the way around, otherwise when you get to the join you have a big bit meeting a little bit, and it will look a bit strange. So you want a nice even sausage all the way around, and that's his shell ready and done. I'm going to pop that there and pop that there. Actually you can put the two together, it doesn't matter. You can use as much as you need for the spots in a bit. Now we need to give him arms, legs and a head. So we're going to take the green. Be careful with your hands, have a quick look. I did notice mine were fairly clean. If you get any red or brown from here, try and take that off your hands before you start handling the green, because the green's quite pale and it will change the colour of the green if you put any more brown onto it. So we're going to roll it into a ball, no surprise there, into a sausage, and then we're going to start cutting what we need. So we need to cut it into thirds, and the easy way I find of doing that is you put a line in the middle, and then you go off to one side of your line and off to one side of your line again, and you'll end up with, now there won't be, mine aren't, they won't be the same size, don't worry about that, that's actually kind of useful for us. So have a look at them and think, which one's my largest piece? Well, that looks like my largest piece. So I'm going to roll that into a ball, a little bit of a sausage, and I'm going to cut that right down the middle into two pieces. So those are your big pieces, put those at the top there. Then take your next biggest, which I think is this one. I'm going to keep it, you can roll it back into a sausage if you need to, I'm going to keep it as it is. And then what you want is put a line in the middle and go 3/4 and 1/4 off to one side, and then you can put that next to your two halves that you have, and then you're going to take the smallest piece, roll it into a sausage and just cut that in half as well. So those are your two small pieces. I've got a little bit of clay on it there, so I'm just going to mould that in a bit more. So those are your two smallest pieces. So you take your two biggest pieces. Do you want to take biggest pieces? Yeah. Now these aren't quite the same size, so I'm going to pinch a bit off this one and pop it on this one and roll them into a ball. So these are the front legs. There we go. Those about the same size. Put your finger on off one centre, off from the centre, and roll, and you'll end up with a teardrop shape, which is kind of what you want. You want that quite a long teardrop shape, and then you also want to just do the end so it's a little bit more pointed. And do two like that, so roll it just off from the centre, quite elongated, and then give it a little bit of a point as well at the end. Okay, then take the fat end, the widest, and just flatten it a little bit with your finger. Okay, so we're going to put those back over there and put everything on together. Now this is the one, the next one, we've got a large one and a small one. Roll it into a ball, and then again you want a teardrop shape, but this time the teardrop needs to be long and thin like that. So you've got a big bulbous bit which will be his head, and then you've got this little thin bit at the back. Flatten that out, squeeze it at the end there, So that's ready to go. Then with this piece, roll it into a ball and then just roll it into a teardrop shape like that, and press down on the end just a little bit, pinch it a little bit even, okay, like that. And that's just that kind of shape, like that. Then take your two last smallest pieces, and these just want to go into little, another roll, make it a bit smoother, and these want to go into little teardrop shapes, so you got a little bit of a bump. Oh, that's it, and a little bit of a bump, and roll that one again. So that's your smallest pieces. So we need to put this all together now, and I'm going to start with the middle set. So this is, you've got your two largest, you've got your two smallest, and this is the big one and the small one. So I'm going to take the big one because that's his head. Find your seam on your shell and go the opposite end and just pop your head on the clay like that so it's sticking up. There we go. And then take your smallest piece, take the flat piece with the pointy bit sticking out, and make it a bit more pointed, and where the join is on the shell, just pop his little tail in there. That's it. Then you're going to take the big pieces of these flippers, just pinch it a little bit. So that's his first flipper, just pop it in place there, literally just press it on from underneath. Try not to deform this bit because it's still going to be soft when you're making. And then nice pointed flipper, flatten it out a bit and put that on that way around as well. So these are pointing down, looks like a chap standing on one leg. But not for long, because we're going to take the little bulbous pieces, pinch these a little bit, and these can go here, and pinch that again, and that can go there. And he's starting to look much more like a turtle now, isn't he? There we go. So the next step is to take your little bit of brown, and what you want to do is give it a bit of a massage, roll it into a ball, roll it into a bit of a sausage so you can see what you're doing, and you want tiny little pieces taking off and bigger, so you need a surprisingly small amount of the clay to make little spots to go down his arms and legs. So I'm just going to roll these into sausages. Now this is a good moment to mention that I've forgotten to take a little bit of green off my original block when I made the arms and the legs. So I've got some more green anyway that I use, so I'm going to grab some of that. But when you're doing your green, I'll put it up on the screen at the time. Don't forget, take a little bit of green off before you start doing the cuts for his arms and his legs, and then you'll have a little bit of green available to do your spots. So I'm going to cut that one into 3 because they are small arms and legs. Put that into 2, put that into 2, that into 2, and that into 2. So I've got lots of little pieces, and I'm going to just roll them up and flatten them with my finger a little bit. It might actually be easy if you flatten them on the paper, and then I'm going to put 2, that's really quite large, 2 little spots on his back leg. Two little spots on his other back leg. Those are still quite large, so I'm going to cut down some of these bigger ones so I can get more on his front legs. So I'm going to cut these right small, right down. There we go. That's better. So we've got these tiny little ones now, and they can go on his, put them up there, on his front. Put that one up. So they're on there. Just press them on gently, because don't forget he's still quite wet. So all on there. Make it more circular, so one there. That's still a little bit big, so I'm going to chop a bit off. A little bit more. Until you get exactly what you want, which is great with this clay because they can do that anytime. And then lift that one up. Lift that one up and pop it right there on his flipper. So there he is, he's got his little spots on his legs. Collect up all the brown, because you don't need that now. So if you've got little bits of brown left over, there are other tutorials where you can use the brown up. Now I'm going to grab from my main chunk, I've got a little bit of green, because I made quite a lot up. As I say, you're better off cutting it from the chunk when you do it originally. And then I'm going to go for a pattern of a cluster of 3 spots and a cluster of 3 spots. So I'm going to have one fairly large one, and then 2 smaller ones. In fact, I'm going to cut that one in half, and then I'm going to have one larger one, a medium one, and a small one. Right, so it should give me 6. So I'm going to have 1. Yeah, definitely need to do that on the paper now. So 1 large one, pop him on there, and a small one, smaller one there, and I think I'm going to go really small for the 3rd one. You can do whatever design you want, obviously, so whatever combination suits you. If your favourite number's 4, you can have clusters of 4 spots or just 4 spots. That is entirely up to you. And then I'm going to have the other cluster down by his tail. That one. That's it. There. And a tiny little one just in there. That's it. And then there's just his little face to pop on at the front. So grab your black out of your container, roll it into a sausage, and then what we want to do is do it that way so you can see very, very small pieces. So probably about this size. I'm actually going to cut a little bit more off, pop it on this one, make it a little bit bigger, and pop the tiniest amount on that one so that we get them about the same size. There we go. That one looks a little bit too big. Okay, so we've got 2 lovely eyes, and I'm going to grab Mr. Turtle and pop his eyes on the side of his head, like that. And then I'm going to get my little fingernail and just give him a nice big smile. And there he is. He's got all his spots, he's got all his limbs, he's got his little tail for swimming, and he's got his big smile to say hello. And that's how you make your little turtle. So don't forget, pop us a photo of your make over on our Facebook page anytime you want, and we'll all come and admire it. And if you want to take this to another level and you want to make mobiles or fridge magnets or anything like that, the Etsy link is down below. So happy making everybody, and we'll see you soon.